Okay, so what I'm going to go over here could completely change the final expense life insurance and life insurance lead generation game, that like the whole game. So essentially, there's a ruling that the FCC came out with that could completely change how lead vendors can sell leads, and it may put some lead vendors out of business. I don't know, or they may have to make some big adaptations. But essentially, what the ruling is going to do, from my interpretation, if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. But it's saying that a vendor can't just like generate a bunch of leads and sell them to whoever they want. The person who they're selling them to, the person who's going to be calling the client or the consumer who filled out the form, that name of that person selling the product has to be listed on the capture page. Pretty crazy. So like, say I went to XYZ lead company and was like, hey, I want 50 leads. They can't just generate them with their generic ads. They have to specifically put that on the ad that I'm going to be the one calling that lead. I'm sure there will be loopholes figured out and stuff like that, right? But and this law could be subject to litigation. But that's like what it says, which is a pretty big deal. I mean, think of how many lead vendors generate and sell that are just generic. So imagine if a lead vendor's got 300 clients, they got to make separate forms and landing pages for 300 clients. That's a lot. So, and they may already be doing that, but I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, that's so it was on November 22nd, they issued a proposed rule. It's likely going to be passed. It will alter the online lead generation industry. So it requires one-to-one written consent on lead generator websites. So certain call under the TCPA guidelines, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, certain calls utilizing an automated telephone dialing system or made using pre-recorded or artificial voice are illegal without express consent, which the FCC has interpreted for marketing calls to mean express written consent. The new rule will require consent that clearly and conspicuously authorizes no more than one identified seller. Now, I don't know if that could be like a business and then that seller's the business and anyone in the business can sell. I don't know. But this is meant to close the lead generator loophole and stop consent abuse by unscrupulous robo-texters and robo-callers. So in late 2022, the FCC entered an order against a company that allegedly operated websites, including TCPA consent disclosures, whereby the consumer consented to receive robocalls from marketing partners, which were only visible to the consumer if the consumer clicked on a specific hyperlink to a second website that contained the names of 5,329 entities. So it's saying you can't do that. It's saying you have to have one marketing partner. That's it. It would be one person that can call them. Now, this is huge. So think of like telemarketing leads or live transfers or age leads, right? This means that lead vendors can no longer sell age leads. Live transfers that call data. Be hard to get live transfers and telemarketing leads. I don't know what they'll do if this is legit. This passes because they buy aged data to call, right? And if their name's not on there specifically, then what are they going to do? This new language, if it's enacted, will be subject to considerable interpretation and possible litigation. Now, the FCC's report, I'm going to blow this up a little bit more. This rule suggests that obtaining consent for a hyperlinked list of sellers is likely not acceptable. So you can't just be like marketing partners, like I said earlier. Providing a list of sellers that consumers can affirmatively separately select in order to be contacted is likely acceptable. So essentially, if you do have that list, then the consumer would go through and select which person they want to call them or which business. The one-to-one consent must come after a clear and conspicuous disclosure to the consenting consumer that they will get robotext and or robocalls from the seller. And robotext and robocalls that result from consumer consent obtained on comparison shopping websites must be logically and topically related to that website. So, for example, a consumer giving consent on a car loan comparison shopping website does not consent to get robotext and robocalls about loan consolidation. So this is obviously up to interpretation, but the way that I see this here is that like this could be applied to lead generators and lead vendors where they're saying like that one specific seller has to be on the landing page. So imagine if every lead vendor out there has to create a new landing page for everybody that's buying. Everybody that buys leads from them. That's a lot of work. Maybe they're already doing that. I don't know. But from my experience, they'll just generate a bunch of leads in an area and then sell those. Also, they wouldn't be able to sell any aged leads, right? I'm not sure exactly. I know this is going to have big implications on the industry as a whole, especially like Medicare, probably. I'm not sure the exact implications of where it will go, but I think this will really impact a lead vendor's ability to sell leads. And if not this time around, then you kind of see the direction that they're heading. So I recommend everybody here learn how to generate their own leads if you're not generating them yet. You can reach out to me. I can refer you to a course that can help you learn how to generate your own leads on Facebook or YouTube. The last thing you want is to get caught in a situation where you can't buy leads from the vendor you're trying to buy leads from anymore. You do not want to get caught in that. So how do you avoid that? Learn how to generate your own leads on Facebook or YouTube. You can check out my videos. Reach out to me if you want access to done for you courses where the ads are set up for you. And I can connect you with the people that are really, really good at it. And you can learn how to take control of your leads. Sorry for the video quality. I'm just moved to Puerto Rico. I don't have my whole like office and everything set up, but I hope this helps you guys. I feel like the lead generation industry will get turned upside down over the next 12 months if this gets enacted. So thank you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. The next video coming up is actually going to show you how to make your own final expense Facebook ads. You don't want to miss it.